Well, you've had a bit more time over the international break with the players. How would you assess the start to the season so far?
It's been a little bit up and down. I think the international break for us on this occasion, different occasions you can judge it. I think it's came at a good time, because it's allowed us to, get together, probably press the reset button and be ready now for a round of games coming into before the next international break. And we've had good training days with the team. We had a bounce match in between, a really competitive bounce match, which was very beneficial for us and for the other team as well. So yeah, I feel as if we're in a good place. The international players returned yesterday. We got our squad together on the training pitch yesterday. So yeah, I think we're ready. As I say, we maybe press the reset button, and it's really looking forward to the next round of games, but none more so than Saturday down at Fir Park against an opposition that we know. They're on form at the moment. They've won the last 3 games by the odd goal, 2-1. So we know what we need to do, what type of performance we need to put in, but I kind of reiterate that the level of performance I've been getting from the team has been very good. And if we continue to do that, if we trust in the process, then the desired outcomes will come as well, and that will be results.
So do you think an international break can help when you're maybe on a run of results that you've not maybe picked up the points that you'd have liked to?
I think it can. Different managers approach it different ways, and I've done the same myself. Sometimes you don't want an international break because the momentum's so high and you're doing so well, you don't want to break anything. Our situation on this occasion, in isolation to all the other ones, we've had an opportunity to really get tight with the squad, and we've got a brilliant group of players here and staff, really, really great environment to work in, and it just allows us that time to maybe regroup and reset, and we're really, really focused now, laser focused on the next matches that will take us into the next international break. So yeah, for me, I feel it's allowed us to really come together and look forward to the next part of the season.
And what sort of test are you expecting from Motherwell this weekend?
Yeah, very tough. Their tails are up, absolutely, and they went into the international break with real momentum. Their last 3 games they won 2-1. Against Hibs, St Mirren and Dundee United, and they progressed to the cup as well. I think Stuart's done a good job there. He's done really well, him and Stevie. And we know every time you play Motherwell, we had great games against them last year, so we know with them being high in confidence and with a bit of momentum at home, we're going to have to do a lot of things right in the game. We're going to have to be really resolute out of possession, but in possession we're really not going to go for it as much as we can. It's a good game. It's an exciting fixture. We're taking a good travelling support down there, so we're under no illusion what kind of game we're going to have to bring to the table. But as I say, we're prepared. We've done that, and we're looking very, very much forward to the game.
Is there any more pressure on games like this when you're on the run that you've had, or what you said with the break? Does that help maybe relieve some of that?
No, it doesn't. All it does is give you real focus. It's great getting into from last week, when we analysed previous, all the focus was then on Motherwell away, so we've been gearing up towards that for probably the next couple of weeks. So it's a good game, against a really good opponent, and we realise that, we need to be at our best to win that game. So there's no better preparation than making sure that all the things you're going to need to do to win a game against a good opponent, you need to do on the day. So your preparation towards that, is all in the training field and an analysis room. And as I say, we've got an environment here where the players work really hard, the staff work really hard, but it all comes to bear on that Saturday afternoon, and hopefully this Saturday afternoon, to reward the travelling support, we'll manage to get our game plan executed and hopefully come back with the points.
Team news for the weekend?
Team news, obviously Mo Salah suspended as a result of the Kilmarnock game. Jordan McGee has made a real good recovery. We don't know if he's touch and go for this game, but we're absolutely delighted with that, because Jordan was deemed as going to be a long term, but the type of character we've got in Jordan, he's touch and go for this game, but certainly would make the next one. Joe's making good progress as well, so yeah, we're healthy. Unfortunately, young Charlie Riley picked up a hamstring injury. Charlie's out on loan at Inverness at the moment, but no, we're very strong going into this fixture.
And on Joe, I remember speaking to you a few weeks ago, you said that he was starting to train himself, running. Where is he at the moment?
He's still training with the physios, with the medics, but he's ahead of schedule. I don't want to put Joe under any pressure by giving a date, because that then puts a wee bit more pressure on him. But listen, I trust Joe implicitly. That's why I brought him in as my captain. So his presence is here. He's now out in the training ground every day with the medics, so he's doing very well. His progress is going really well, but as I say, we won't put a date on it. We're just delighted that he's ahead of schedule.
Is he kicking a football yet? Is it just more?
No, he's not at that stage yet. He's not kicking the ball yet. He's just he's doing his work with the medics and with the sports science.
Brilliant.
You regularly hear we hear from the players and the management team about how well you're doing with things and how much you're going in the right direction. But does it emphasise it even more when the opposition manager, Stuart Kettlewell, comes out and says how well you're doing and that you should have more points on the board and things? Does that say that you're doing things right?
Well, it reinforces, but when there's a real strong belief within this group, and it's really important that we maintain that, because sometimes, in matches, you do all you can to win matches, but some things go against you in matches. But as long as you keep a real trust and a belief in the process, then, in my opinion, the desired outcomes will follow. So there's a strong belief, not just with the staff, but with the players as well, that we're doing a lot of things right here. And, we're 7 games into a 38-game campaign. If we maintain the levels, then things will go for you and you'll begin to win games by the odd goal or whatever. So it is good, it reinforces, and again, I've got great respect for Stuart. I think he's doing a great job at Motherwell. So it is good for my colleague to say that, just to reinforce where you are. But I've got to emphasise that there's such a strong belief in the group here just now that we are doing things right and things will go for us.
Is there a lot of unfortunate things that have been happening recently where, like in the last game, 5 minutes to go, 2 up and losing, other ones where you're losing sort of last minute equalisers and things like that? Is that something that you see is just that you'll take your fair share of that in the season, and other times obviously it'll go your way?
Yeah, I think as you say there, it's a campaign, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint, and you make sure all you can control, you just try and control what you can control, and what we control is our performance levels. And as I've said, and as the players agree, is that our performance levels are really good. And when that's the case, in my experience, being involved, that things do turn for you, So all I want to do is I want to make sure that it's a process. And if you keep belief and trust in the process, then the desired outcomes will follow.
So you're heading down to Motherwell this Saturday. They are on a particularly good run, as you've pointed out, at the moment. When you look at these games like this, is this an opportunity just to say, well, we're going to put one up and one over on it?
I think it's a typical Scottish Premier League game, and a brilliant game. If I was a supporter, I'd love to be going and watching that, because I think Stuart said in his interview as well that the competitive level of the league is fantastic, brilliant, and it can only serve up good games. That there's both teams there absolutely doing everything they can to win a game of football, and our team, my team, will always be set up to be competitive in every match we play in. So that level of competition brings out, the best, I think. So, yeah, we do. We really look forward to it. We know there's a lot of things that we're going to need to do right in possession and out of possession to get one over on our opponent, because they're a strong opponent. But these are the games you look forward to, and as I say, that's the beauty of the Scottish Premier League. It is so competitive. Sometimes it gets its knocks. I think it's a brilliant league because of the competitive nature of it, because of the coaches we've got, because of the standard of play. So, if I was a fan, I'd look at that game and go, I want to go and watch that, because I think there'll be real entertainment there.
You mentioned about the international recognition that the players have had here, and that they've all come back safe and well from their journeys. That's the second month in the talk you've got. You've got another month to go through, obviously, from there. Do you feel that, although it's good for them to get the recognition, sometimes it disrupts what you're trying to do here at Dundee?
It can. I mean, I mentioned earlier on, every international break, it comes at a different time, and it depends on how the team are doing. So you can have real momentum going into it and you don't want it to come, or you can have a wee run of poor results that we've had, good performances but poor results, that allows you to get the group together and really focus on things you can do better and reset and be ready to come out of the traps for the next game. That's where we are. So I can only speak from the experience of this international break. Yeah, it does disrupt things, but as I say, you're never going to stop players getting recognition. It's brilliant to, the boys that are away with Scotland, and the boys, Sammy's away with England, and Soon's away with Austria. It's great for them to get that recognition. As a club manager, it does disrupt momentum, but that's your job. You need to make sure that you get them all back and everybody's focused. And what I see in a group, as of yesterday, when we're all back, is a group really focused on the next game, which is Motherwell away.
Curtis, a few weeks into the season now, a few weeks for you at a new club. What have you made of the start to the season yourself?
Yeah, I think initially we started really positively. Had a good pre-season and good league cup campaign, and took that into the league quite well. Obviously, recent results haven't been what we expect, but we've been working hard to correct a few issues we've had lately, and hopefully we can take that into tomorrow's game.
The manager says the performances have been good, but the results not quite there. Would you share that review?
Yeah, I think for the majority of games we've had so far this season, that probably is the case. We've dominated large parts of games, and then either not made that dominance count, or we've gave away something sloppy at the back. And and being punished for it. So yeah, I think overall the performance levels have been close to where we want them. It's just turning those results, those performances into positive results.
And he was also saying that the international breaks came at quite a good time. He said it allowed it a bit of a reset. What's the last week or so been like in training?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, after a couple of not so great results, we were just able to focus on basics and just putting a lot of hard work in over the break. No specific focus on the game up until now, so we've been able to just get back to basics and work really hard and try and take that into, like I say, tomorrow's game. And
when you're kind of talking about the things that maybe haven't gone right, do you approach a game like Motherwell differently? And is there anything you feel that you need to implement that you've maybe been working on over the last week or so for a game like this?
No, obviously they've had a pretty strong start themselves, so we're aware of the threats that they pose. But I think it's just more about us taking care of ourselves first and foremost, and we're confident that we've got everything we need in the dressing room to turn the results, the performance into positive results. Like I say, we've worked on a lot of stuff over the last couple of weeks, and I think everybody's ready to get on with the next game after the last result.
And going up against one of your former clubs, I believe, do you enjoy these sorts of games when you're playing against a club that you've had history with in the past?
Yeah, I mean, it's just another game to me, to be honest. Obviously familiar surroundings, haven't played there for a little while, and yeah, it'll be good to go back and play there again. But in terms of that, it's just another game.
And for you, on a personal note, how do you reflect on the start that you've had to the season and your role within this Dundee team?
Yeah, I'm fairly happy with how we've started and how I've started personally. Quite positive in terms of performance level and scoring a few goals so far. But I definitely think that I can contribute more, and hopefully, I can do that tomorrow.
Does it feel like across the forward line that there is that competition, that there's maybe not one person who's expected to get the goals, that you can all kind of come to the table and score goals yourselves?
Yeah, I think there's got to be a shared responsibility in terms of right throughout the team, not just the forward players, obviously midfielders, defenders, chipping in as well. But I think we're a very competitive group in terms of what's in the forward areas. You've seen that we've all scored goals and we're all pushing each other to make the whole team stronger. So I don't think it's expected to be just one person getting them, and I know everybody else is just as hungry as I am to score goals. So again, that's just going to promote the right attitude that we all need to hopefully get the results and take us up the top of the table.
Thank you.
We regularly hear from the players here at Dundee about the camaraderie and how good it is in that changing room through there. Do you feel that the atmosphere that's here at Dundee for you will help you take you out of this run that you're in?
Yeah, obviously we've had a couple of results that again we're not happy with, but it's a small time frame in terms of we've had a few results that haven't gone our way, but before that we had a good couple of months where everything was positive. So there's going to be times throughout the season where things aren't going your way and you do face a little bit of adversity, but again, the character that's in the dressing room, I have no doubt that it's exactly what we need to bounce back from this little spell that we've had and then go on another run where we're picking up results and points back to back. Like I said, I'm fully confident in what's in the dressing room, that we've certainly got that in abundance.
Do you feel that with the international breaks that we're having, one every month at the moment, there's another one next month, do you feel that perhaps, although it's good for the players that are involved in that sort of thing, does that perhaps disrupt what you're trying to do here when you're putting things together?
I mean, it depends how you look at it, I think, and also how your season's going and how you're performing. But at the end of the day, it's the same for every club. You've all got those windows, those blocks of games, if you like, where you've got to work towards. So you can maybe just look at them up to each point and try and focus on a block, and then you've got a window, a period in between each one. And for us, I think it did come at a good time for us because the results hadn't been exactly what we wanted, and it gave us a little bit of time to just say, right, well, let's reset and let's take the focus away from just the match, just the game on a Saturday, and let's focus on ourselves and really try and nail down what we want to take forward for the rest of the season. So yeah, I mean, again, it depends on each club and how they are at the time, but I think for us, certainly it's come at a good time, this one.
You look at the league as a general position, and every time you go into a game, there's going to be a challenge from both sides. In most games, it's going to be very, very competitive, and on paper, you really can't say one's going to win or not. So, is that an advantage of this league, going down to this game, knowing that it's going to be a good game, a competitive game, and there's every possibility you could come out with 3 points?
Yeah, I think that is a really strong aspect of the league, and it stops teams, for the majority of teams, of any sort of complacency creeping in, because, like you say, every weekend there's a fixture where or more than one fixture where you go, I have no idea who's going to win that. I think it is really tight between a good number of clubs, and it makes for exciting viewing. I think that you're not quite sure who's going to come out on top. In terms of a personal, for our club, we have to be doing everything we can to make sure we're at a level ready to compete with most of the teams around us. Like I say, it is very difficult, and that's probably shown with the results so far in the league, where barring 1 or 2, everyone's 2 points off everyone. So I don't really see that changing, and I think it's gonna make a very competitive league throughout the full calendar.